Maddie and I, we had never really seen any of them fully through, so we watched them all in like the technical timeline order. And
is the way they filmed it not in timeline?
No, so they basically filmed it like Star Wars, to where the originals are like, let's say, present day, but to hear the origins of how they got these kids and like Professor X and everything, there's like the prequels that have like Jennifer Lawrence and the guy that, you know, the bald dude that played in the movie Split, and shit like that. So he does a great job. I forgot his name, but he plays Professor X. But I mean, anyone can pull off the bald head, but it's like the people they chose to play the younger versions of these people they don't really like look like it. Like the woman, like they have Jennifer Lawrence play this one character, and then years later, supposedly, it's like Sophia Turner from like Game of Thrones and shit.
Let me pull this up.
They don't really look alike. And here's what they really fuck up though, is I forgot her name. I'll look it up in X-Men.
Lawrence.
I thought that Magneto guy was good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, she has her moments.
Yeah, but who is it? Not Raven.
Mystique.
Fuck.
She's only 30 years old, by the way.
Rogue.
Rogue? Who's Rogue? Is that the blue chick? No, that's Jennifer Lawrence.
No, that's Raven, right?
No, Rogue is the one that.
Rogue
can
is the
take
one I'm talking
people's
about.
Powers.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting at. Rogue, the woman. Oh fuck, no, not Rogue. I'm thinking of someone else. Hold on.
Her films grossing over $6 billion fucking dollars.
Dang, that's all because
Wow,
she
she
bent over
crushes.
for Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, she did.
Hey, you play, you get paid.
Can't deny that.
That's fucked.
Gotta pay to play. No, Jean Grey. Here we go, and then we'll wrap up the X-Men bullshit. So in Jean Grey and like the original movies, she's like in love with like Wolverine or whatever, and you know, she has like one personality. She's like a little conflicted. She's powerful, but she has like one kind of scenario.
The redhead.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's it.
But
She's
then,
hot.
But then in like they do a little bit of the prequels recently, but the latest film, it's like Rising Phoenix. Sophia Turner from Game of Thrones, she plays like Jean Grey, and what they do is, I don't know if they want to make it more of like a female lead role or whatever, but her powers go apeshit. Like she's even way more powerful. She doesn't fuck with like Wolverine, I feel like, at all. And then also, she goes just like apeshit and almost like kills everybody, and like becomes like the villain in a way, until the end, of course, and things like that. But
spoiler alert, people.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Fuck me.
It's
I
like
know.
a 5-year-old movie.
I know. But overall point is, they always fuck it up to where it's like, in the originals, the character might have X personality, X persona, X powers, and then they just fucking magically change all of that shit, you know?
How did we get on X-Men?
I just started talking about it. I don't even remember.
Second off, you saw X-Men.
I saw the first 3. I think I saw one of the newer ones, but I didn't really like them, so I didn't watch the rest. But yeah, first 3 I thought were good.
We watched them when COVID shit first happened, and we had nothing. You know, everyone's stuck at
At
home.
what point in your life did you watch them? How long ago?
I was probably like middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got away with that?
Got away with it.
Watching the movies? I feel like you weren't allowed to watch anything.
Yeah, I see where you're going
Well,
with it,
I
yeah.
think they were they PG?
Maybe.
Snuck them out of Blockbuster.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I did have to have one part turned off for me. In the original X-Men, remember when they go to the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
And Wolverine goes through the metal detector?
Yeah.
And he
it shows,
does the single claw. Had to have that turned off while I watched it.
Were your parents like, did they watch the whole movie with you and are like waiting for that part? Or are they just like, hey, let me know when they go to the Statue of Liberty and call me in real quick. I got to do something.
They watched it with me, and then also they would look at this website called Snopes that they would see.
Website? Fucking
Yeah.
Isn't
website.
Snopes like propaganda bullshit?
Yep. So they would
Always
do
was.
that, and they would see like what the bad things in the movie were,
Oh, fuck.
and then that would have to be
Send them a virus.
covered up.
Yeah.
So-
Two men kiss at 9 minutes in.
Boobs and bush.
You know what's the worst awkward part though is sex scenes though with like your parents in the room.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's still awkward to this
Yeah,
day.
even to this day. Yeah, I just remember, you know, like in that middle school, high school time period for watching a movie, and my mom would just be like, Keith, like fast forward through the shit or whatever.
And just like, we hear you, Mom.
It's like, yeah, we get what's going on, but also you're like, I'd rather act like it's not a big deal, but then it could be like a 45-minute scene of some dude just raw dogging some chick, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
So
it's very hard
anyway,
to masturbate to.
About this. Yeah, it's hard to masturbate when they're in the room.
I was just talking to, I forgot Jim. I was just talking to Jim about this earlier because he was talking about Drew and maybe him sleeping with his girlfriend or whatever. Back when he was living at home, and like supposedly they have a very conservative lifestyle, so it's like old school, no sleeping in the same bedroom shit. I was like, you can't fight it though. 21 years old. The dirty's happening. Yeah. They're bumping uglies.
Something that's funny for me is, I don't know if y'all know anyone like this or if your parents were like it, but like people like my cousin, she went to college with her boyfriend. They moved out to Arizona together. They moved to the Peace Corps in Rwanda together. But then when they would come home for the holidays, he would have to sleep on the couch. And it's like, y'all have lived together for 5 years. Like, what's the big deal here?
Yeah, the parents just don't. And I told Jim that talk this morning. I was like, I'm not going to be that parent. I'm just going to realize, hey, it's happening.
Yeah. You know what's the hardest part though? If you have a daughter.
Well, yeah.
That's the problem. Is like,
and you see that guy's grin when he comes over, and it's just like, you motherfucker.
You see the double standard.
I see me.
Like
it's like, you
I
motherfucker.
understand it's a double standard, but it is one of those things. It's like, I have a son. Like, I don't really have that many concerns as long as he's not like a shithead.
I feel like that handshake though is gonna be like.
But if I have a daughter, like, she'll be the most like sweet thing. I'll treat her all innocent. All these
That's
things.
What he says
but
too.
once they get to high school age, though, you just know like. It may not be freshman year. It may not be sophomore. But at some point, some dickhead's going to break her heart, going to do some nasty things, and...
or flip the switch. She just turns out to be buck wild herself.
Oh, that would be the worst.
Like one of those chicks, just buck wild, can't stop.
Oh,
needs
man.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I know. I'd just be like, oh, fuck. Abort. Oh, man. Yeah, it is one of those things, though. It's like, it's a sad double standard. I don't know why it is. Maybe we just hold women to like a, not a higher standard, but more like a more pure standard.
Well, what's
guys
the
are kind of like the raccoons
lock and key analogy? You ever hear that? Key that can unlock many locks is a master key. But a lock that gets unlocked by a lot of keys, that's a bad lock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hey, not my rules. I just enforce them.
Yeah. I like that.
But that's what I always heard in middle school, too.
Yeah, my dad said the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Called the master lock.
Yeah.
Master key. Yeah, got that tool.
Shit. Shit. The Scream Maker.
So what's up, man? What do we got going on?
I see you've been working out again recently a little bit
against doctor's orders.
Yeah, and
Surgeon General.
I haven't told Sarah either.
I'm
so
going behind my wife's back to work out.
So hear me out. Last night, I texted her before she got home last night, and I was like,
"You look kind of sweaty. Did you work out?" No.
But I texted her before she got home last night. I was like, "Hey, you want to go for a walk around the apartment complex? Like just one lap. Just get moving. I want to move." And she was like, "Are you sure you should be walking?" And what she doesn't know is I've been working out the past 3 days.
Good thing she doesn't have an Instagram.
Yeah, right.
I feel like she's flipping the switch and trying to get you fat.
So, kind of. Yeah. I don't know. She's being a worry body. But anyways, yes, I've been touching the weights a little bit. Nothing crazy. Maybe 30, 40% of like max effort. Probably less than that. Like not even enough to get a sweat going. Just getting blood moving. Stupid lightweight. And just trying to get on the treadmill, get my heart rate up a little bit. So I've been doing 20, 25 minutes on that. And feeling good, man. And like I even woke up this morning. All last week sucked, morning-wise. I'd wake up and like just don't feel like a purpose. It's hard. There's like no purpose to get out the door early or no purpose to even like rush to get out the door. It's just like I was showing up here right before my client or like late. And today I woke up, I was like, fuck yeah. I'm going to go to the gym. Even though I knew I was going to work out in the morning, I'm still going to work at some point today. So I was like more looking forward to the day, even had my meals cooked, prepped. So it's like, I feel like the things are locking back into place. Even though they're not 100%, I just feel like more determined to get back on the rails, per se, instead of all right, well, I'm just going to have a couple beers tonight. I've been shit the past week or so. It's been like, all right, I'm going to have one beer, and then one beer feels pretty good, especially when you ain't got shit to do tomorrow. It's like, fuck, I'm going to have another one, maybe a glass of wine. Fuck the calories. I'm just going to eat whatever. And not that is a bad thing. You got to live life, but it's like I want to hold myself to a higher standard, and me not working out or having no purpose with that doesn't give me like that urge to want to continue to hold myself up there.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I feel like if I was ever to be, I'd be that athlete that once they retire or they broke their leg and they're out, I'm done. I'm living in the gutters after that.
Yeah. It's hard when I feel like everything that you've been working towards or playing towards just abruptly stops, and you're not kind of ready to pivot. And especially when I was telling Maddie, I felt so bad because you were just a week and a half into riding on a real bike, and it was nope.
Yeah.
But
training wheels back on.
Fuck yeah, training wheels back on, boy.
Reset.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I see a doctor this Thursday, so hopefully get some follow up with that and go from there. But I'll keep everybody posted on the next show what the visit's like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, nothing else really new. Shout out to Enrique, by the way. Sent us some fucking outrageous cookies, by the way.
What was your
Heart
favorite
attack
kind?
makers.
I had the s'mores one, which was the first out of the box.
And we split the peanut butter delight.
Dang.
Yeah, s'mores is probably my favorite so far. But they're 1,000 to 1,100 calories a piece.
Jeez. They
Like
look
a
pretty
straight
big.
180 grams of carbs.
There's something about that type of cookie that I just love seeing people break it apart.
Yeah, it is when it busts open.
It's just hard to commit to that many calories.
Yeah.
And it feels heavy. Like when you eat it,
I ate it.
It hits your soul, the
Yeah.
bottom of your soul. It's just clunk, clunk.
Sticks to your ribs.
Yeah.
It's stuck in my insides for 6 hours before it passed.
Yeah. But I've been giving them out to a couple people because I was just I don't need those cookies at all. But thank you a
Straight
ton.
10,000 calorie
I'll
box.
have to check.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple left. Snag one. But thank you a ton, Enrique. That's fucking awesome, man. I mean, was not expecting something that crazy. But yeah, if you ever heard of My Cookie Dealer, check him out if you're looking to blow your load. Literally the whole load.
If you want to just give up on life.
As long as it's in the anabolic window.
Stick to the couch. Yeah.
Cookie time.
Yeah. Oh, got me.
Yeah.
Cookie time. Damn, that's good. But what else we got new? What else?
Last week, I went to the trail and ran. It was kind of interesting because I don't know. I'm sure you have, Griffin. Have you been to the Buttermilk Trail?
Yeah, I used to
North
walk
Bank.
up there to Forest Hill or to the farmer's market or up at different. That's kind of where we went to the river that one day.
Yeah,
up that spot.
So Buttermilk is not near here.
No.
That's poor farm.
You know what's the sad thing is it's literally 5 minutes from either Maddie and I's first apartment or our last apartment. It's stupid close. And all this time, granted I wasn't as deep in running at the time, but it's this whole time I was, had a trail basically in my backyard, and I would just stop maybe a mile short of even seeing that it's there and just turning back. It's like that cartoon, where you're mining the fucking things right behind it. But anyway, so I realized, I was like, oh shit, that's there. And I was talking to someone who recommended I go there. So I did that Thursday. Didn't really have a plan for that many miles. I just knew I wanted to get at least 10 in because I didn't know exactly kind of what it was going to be. Because I know that the Buttermilk and the North Bank connect at some point, loop around for 6 miles total. I didn't know kind of what it was going to look like though. So I got there, I parked. What I didn't realize was right where you park is the entrance of the North Bank. So I thought, I was going to run the North Bank that day. But what I did was I followed this woman that I saw a couple people already out there. So this girl was running past this corner and going onto this bridge. She's like, oh, it must be over that way. So obviously wasn't, but I went on that bridge. It's a quarter-mile bridge across, very nice views. And then once you pass the bridge, it's a super steep incline, fucking brutal. But right before really you hit that incline, there's the entrance to the Buttermilk. I thought that was a trail entrance, but I was like, let's just see where this takes me. So I went up there. I was running through this neighborhood for basically 2 miles, and the houses are really strange. So it's definitely rich-ass professors or family passed-down houses in there because they're pretty stupid nice and kind of big and expensive and on the hills almost to where...
Libby Hill Avenue, or Libby Avenue, all those stupid houses?
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but some of them look old timey Richmond, like what do you call it, Monument Avenue-esque, and then other ones look like almost LA, like Beverly Hills-esque, where they're on like the edge of a drop off. They got like a glass all around the house, like super modern looking. It was pretty interesting, and cool views down that way. Saw a couple people biking, but anyway, I looped back, went through the trail, and long story short, the trail was pretty brutal, and I didn't know where the fuck I was going. So like, I was only basically a mile and a half down the trail. It went further, but I got to like a rest stop, and at that point, I just decided to turn back before I was on like an endless loop that I didn't know where I was going to get back to my car. But a lot of elevation up and down and all around and on rocks and branches and roots in the ground and all this kind of stuff. It was pretty cool to do, and it was definitely challenging on like my muscles and everything. And obviously my pace wasn't the same because I'm going through all this different stuff. I had to walk over these creeks and this and that. So it was a lot of fun. Very different. I was a little bit nervous because I was like, I didn't have my phone with me because I had a bottle in one hand and a GoPro in the other. And so I was like, I don't want to like accidentally step on like a snake or roll an ankle or do this or do that and then just be fucked out here. And also I was obviously wearing road running shoes, and they were a little slick. So if I was like walking on this or that, I didn't have like a bunch of traction. So interesting, but fun experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully there's some winners out there listening to this that would know.
Yeah.
Maybe been on the buttermilk.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Or our boy Brandon Wright, comes here. He was saying he used to bike it a lot.
Is that near? No. Like that has no
it's right
association.
Past Monument. Not Monument, Maymont area. It's like past Bird Park.
I keep
a little bit
feeling like I envision it, but I don't think I've ever been on it.
It'd be a nice area to bike eventually. I wouldn't bike the trail because that's like mountain biking type shit. It'd be pretty tough to do. But like as far as like the neighborhood I ran across the bridge, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I think that's near the Buttermilk Bridge, right? I think that's near.
It's called like the Douglas Bridge.
Douglas. Is that near Forest Hill?
Yeah,
so I can take
they're
a left
all near each other.
And then I can. It's like a toll on it though, a small toll, like 30 cents.
Yeah, right where I park is right before the toll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been across it. Yeah, it's a cool bridge.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what have you been up to?
I was out of town a little bit last week, and I did watch some good movies on the plane.
Nice.
Terminator 2, Total Recall, and then one weird one that I was just looking at older like 80s movies, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Johnny Depp. That was kind of an interesting one.
I don't really remember the concept, but I think I saw it.
But good time. I worked a lot on making a website. I dabbled in Squarespace like we had used for our original one, and then I decided to do Wix instead, which Brock made the Iron Built website on that. And I like how much you can customize with it. And I built out like the whole kind of skeleton to like expand on, but I've been trying to work on just basically like a few different things. One, some sort of thing where I can like block off time and people can just schedule themselves within that framework. Because a lot of times I feel like if people like reach out to me, they're just like, oh, can you do this time? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I realize like, oh man, I could have compiled that a lot better. So I'm trying to just kind of do that and let people feel like they can kind of like choose within a certain spectrum of what works versus having to like communicate it back and forth, and at least make it more official. And then B, have some sort of platform to eventually open up maybe other ideas or e-commerce or projects or other things like that I would like to do. But fitgriffin.com was open. I was happy about that.
Yeah.
And then also to be able to have something to show like different like photo or video packages, portfolio to send to people, and then have them like have a contact form to contact me. Basically to try to make it more like business-like, like streamlined, a little bit more professional and like standard. Because a lot of times when I do video work or something for people, I don't know if I've told you this before, but like I'll do the project, I'll spend maybe 8 hours on it, and then when I go to send it to them, I'm like, well, this is just a minute Instagram video, like I can't really charge that much, and I'll just be like, just give me $100 or something like that. So I'd at least like to have like standard, and then like up to a certain amount of time that I will work on stuff, just to at least keep it like straight across the board, you know. And I almost feel like having something to direct people to takes away like the pressure of almost like caving to your own self when it comes to like selling yourself short a little bit.
Pricing with freelance is kind of tricky, especially like you said when there's like a wide range of how long investment in time it could be, you know, because some things you got a good grasp on, you know, it's going to be in this range. But yeah, I mean, if you're shooting like a video, for example, like a wedding, I mean, it could be like a quick wedding. You might have like you know your shots pretty quickly, and then other times you have like, you know, an insane amount of footage, and the footage alone is going to be like, you know, X amount to go through, and shoot, and let alone. So I think that's a good way to process it.
But I was thinking about this, and I was talking to some people that really helped me to kind of get a better perspective on some things, because I don't know about you guys, but like especially with you, Austin, and you, Brock, too, like I know y'all both bootstrap a lot of things. You figure things out, like you learn Photoshop, you learn web design, like graphic design for email stuff, but a lot of things sometimes I feel like this is, let's say between that or like some sort of investment or retirement thing, a lot of times I'm like, okay, this is out of my scope of reference. This is out of my expertise. Like, I don't know how to like make a website look good, or like the under the hood stuff on like how to make this an actual system. It's kind of stressful sometimes to feel like, did I just spend money and time on something that like I realize isn't going to work out how I wanted it, or like other things like that. And it is funny to think about just sometimes putting in that time or effort, or maybe not even risk per se, but like putting that expense down or putting that time in and researching stuff to have something that will help you make your day-to-day a lot easier. Because a lot of times I'm just like, I don't want to really think about that or spend too much time on it because I've got this, and this to do instead. But it really does, like, you know, hopefully if it all works out, like make things better and give you more time to then work on creative stuff or stuff that you maybe want to put work in on the front end and get paid off in the back end, sort of thing. So
I dig it. I know you talked to me about it like a week ago, and I'm glad that you sort of went through with it and decided to make it like a nice funnel for everything to be able to run through and be organized a lot more.
Yeah, because I figured too, there's a lot of other things, because I think about a lot with you guys, like you always have a new product, a new flavor, like a new piece of equipment, other things like that you're working towards, or new passion, or, you know, venture. So I was trying to think about some other things that I wanted to work towards, or like do as like a weekend thing that I could, you know, maybe sell for a little bit or something like that, whether it be some sort of like ebook kind of cookbook, or like just some other things too, maybe if people wanted like programs or something like that. But I was just thinking about, man, well, it would be nice to just have like all-in-one sort of, you know, platform for that it would be fun to at least like, I don't know, use as whatever you wanted, you know. You could have stuff that's paid for, stuff that's free, like just stuff that you think of, like, I don't know. So it's at least fun to think about like what that future could hold. But
I'm sure people should check it out, because
not
you
yet.
know,
I haven't finished it.
Eventually. Well, yeah, cat's out of the bag. But you know, you put a lot of effort and time into your filming, and especially like even like your latest swipe. You know, you did a deep voiceover and to like breaking down exercises. So I think people that are looking for something to follow along, get some structure, and like get quality content to follow, that would be a great source, you know, a resource to be able to invest into themselves. And, you know, not only that, it could be a one-stop shop for like, hey, now that I've got a routine going, I'd love to get some pictures or a workout edit of myself. Let me hit up Griffin for that, you know?
And there's a lot of ways, I feel like, to make content nowadays where there are, you know, there's your daily vloggers that just throw shit together like quickly, for example, on YouTube. But then there's also some like really good filmmakers that they only post like once every 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. And but those videos that they do post, the handful throughout like the year, are super well done, super thought out, have a storyline, it's quality content. I think, you know, your work is a lot in that way, to where, you know, I might slap together a workout real quick and post it, versus, you know, you'll get nice angles, show exactly what you're talking about, add a voiceover, do things and do that. And I think there's a place for both, you know, forms of content.
So I've got a cool thing that I just figured out.
What?
Listen here. Today, July 26th is National All or Nothing Day.
No way.
Let me hear me out. Allows people to throw caution to the wind and go for broke. We all have dreams we hold back, decisions left to make, or plans uncompleted. On this day, people break free of everything holding them back.
Should you do a coupon?
Fucking Google guy, my guy, National Calendar Day.
Let me see it. Turn around.
Promo code for it.
Oh, that's from someone's. Let me look
somebody's Google.
Up. Yeah, someone's Google.
I mean, what, you don't believe it? It's fucking All or Nothing Day, my dude.
I just wonder who came up with it. Maybe it was you.
I didn't make this shit. The universe made it.
Yeah, National All or Nothing Day. Nice.
Yeah. So, what a show.
Time
what a treat.
To have a crazy workout.
Yeah. Blow that thing out, right? All or nothing. Throw caution to the wind.
Dang.
Yeah, so hopefully
y'all.
Dude,
this looks a lot like the font you use.
Damn.
What the heck?
Somebody fucking ripped my shit, dude.
National Austin Page Day.
Yeah. What is this article written by Jake Page? What the fuck? Yeah.
Dang.
That's pretty dope. Who'd have
cool.
fucking thought an All or Nothing Day? But that's every day.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how we roll.
But we celebrate today, July 26th.
I'll toast to that.
Toast to that.
Oh, fuck.
Knuckles nice.
Topics, see if I got anything good.
Yeah, let's hear it.
One thing I thought was pretty interesting, and maybe all of us can speak to this. I didn't have anything too direct from this, but I was hoping it would guide some ideas from y'all. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and this ultra running coach was talking. They were talking about it was months ago, so it was back in January. So they were talking more about how are your athletes dealing with races getting canceled, blah blah blah. And he was basically talking about how there's kind of like two groups of athletes that he's noticed have diverged. Basically, there's the athletes that now that the races and the competition and the prize money and all the glam and glitz and glamour is gone, they like don't feel like training. They don't have any motivation. They're just like, they're having trouble sticking to their training. Versus there's the other group that have a strong sense of they run for themselves, they run for enjoyment, they run for to be a passion, and then racing is just something on top of it. And so he talked about how a good way to kind of discover your why is to start by looking at the things you do in your life that are voluntary and analyzing why you do those things and what really underlies beneath that. So, for example, like I lift every day and I don't have to, but what is the kind of like the underlying reason, that I do that? Is it to kind of get that physical release? Is it to like better myself? Like, you can analyze those things. It's almost like brushing your teeth. Like, you don't have to do it, but you do it because, it's good for your long-term health, these different things. So I don't know if any of y'all had any kind of things that you think about when it comes to like, discovering like your why or maybe things you've been thinking about recently with why are you cycling or why are you making this decision to make this website? Kind of what has been maybe a trigger or something you thought of recently that has kind of sparked that?
In regards to lifting, I was actually talking to Sarah Buckley about this the other day because she was talking about, putting off a competition for like at least another year or so, a little bit more. And she was just asking me like what I was doing, and I was saying I was going to enter this transformation contest, yada, yada. But I was just telling her that when it comes to my own like lifting journey, you start off because you're, a little shrimp or like you're overweight or something like that, and you have this idea of like, okay, well, I don't know where I could get to, I don't know where my genetics will allow me to go to. I know where my starting point is. I have this vision of my ending point and stuff like that, and you kind of work as hard as you can to get there. And when you see progress, like, it's very addicting. You feel like, each week maybe there's a new line or like more definition or this and that, new PR. But I was just telling her, like, I feel like a few years ago, after going through like a general transformation overall, like you get to a point where you feel like, okay, I'm really good. I'm at like the top of my game sort of thing. And then if you stray from that or kind of fall from that, it's almost like, well, I already know what it felt like to be at like the top of my game. And I don't really feel like I have that same, hunger from being at square one again and trying to like get back to what I feel like is the best I could be, sort of thing. And I almost feel like for me, it's weird because that perspective is not the same anymore, and trying to force it is not going to like work out the way I want it to, because it's not like I'm wondering anymore, like, what would I, look like or be like if I put in 3 or 4 years, like being consistent, pushing sort of thing, because I feel like I've already seen what that has looked like before, to where it could be even better this time around, but I don't feel like I have the same mindset of like, oh, I'm starting at square one and like, who knows what the future holds sort of thing. So I was just telling her that I've been trying to find a few things that stick beyond just enjoying working out, enjoying like training, but having some sort of goal to reach towards. But I do feel like you have to kind of find that kind of centering principle, regrounding principle of maybe finding some sort of demon that, originally motivated you, or kind of finding a different reason to have that same kind of hunger to go after something too. So I don't know if you feel like that at all.
Well, I want to speak to something because you made me remember it that I told you yesterday, because I was thinking about this. I think it was yesterday morning or Saturday morning, was about like running versus lifting, and like my motivations for both are kind of a little bit different, to where similar to you, Griffin, I feel like I'm pretty young now, only being 21, so there's still a lot of potential left for muscle growth, but for the most part, like you said, you kind of reach a point where the returns are very, very small, from year to year. And so recently I haven't had that incredible drive to, just put on mass, because the size gains, the detailed lines and things like that are so minimal from year to year from muscle training, at least being natural. So I really lift every day. I feel like when you get down to the core of it, because the act of it, the pump, the workouts, they feel good. I enjoy them. I have fun doing them. Versus running, there is some fun to it, but it's almost like I feel like it gives me something I can really like push towards, get a lot better in. There's a lot more room for growth because I'm so new to it. And then also something I was telling Austin was I can't really see myself having the want or the urge or the passion to compete as a bodybuilder. Yeah. Just because I've been there, I've seen what it's like. I just don't really have that desire. But with running, I don't necessarily ever see myself like winning these races, this or that, but at least I can see myself competing in these races, completing these challenges, in these longer distances, and really like pushing my potential pretty far. And I just see a lot more discomfort, a lot more progress that can be made in that realm. And I think that's what kind of excites me and drives me about like the sport of running currently versus lifting. It's not like I've topped out or peaked out, but at least in a way, it's almost like I feel like I'm walking in like a endless road, to where it's like I can keep walking, but I don't really have any clear focus other than like I want to continue to get bigger, but I really wouldn't die or cry if I didn't get any bigger than I am now. Like I feel like I have a good bit of muscle mass. I'd like to get bigger, but I don't have that same drive.
Yeah, and actually that makes me think about, because I did tell her that too, because I was like, I don't really ever see myself competing or like being really that interested in doing it maybe more than once. And so I was like, I do have a certain way I want to look, but beyond that, like I have no other goal with that, like besides, I'm not going to take it to a stage to like try to nail down like, that kind of competitor discipline. So it's like beyond just having this general goal of an aesthetic of like what I want to look like eventually, there's not really anything else under the surface sort of thing. So I don't know. It would be fun to have this like particular contest or like end date to work towards just for fun and see. But I almost feel like after that, I'm going to need to have something else to like have on the horizon, because otherwise it's just perpetuity nothing really beyond that.
And so I realized that after I did my transformation thing. It's just I was hoping, which deep down and voluntarily I did, or indirectly I did, find a second goal, but throughout the whole process I was like, all right, something's going to click. Something's going to like pop out to me and be like, all right, after I'm done with this, I'm definitely doing this. And I was worried because really I wasn't feeling the bike that much, but I was like, well, I did enjoy the suck of it. All right, let me see how many more miles I can get the next day when I was on that stationary bike. And I was like, well, fuck, I can keep chasing that, see how much further I can go, which the talk that Brock and I had yesterday about running or biking, and why at least he and I have gotten some type of different excitement. There's a different feel, especially with me being so green to it, is the fact that I can get on the bike and not be competing against anybody else. There's other bikers out there, there's runners, there's whatever. I'm not even focused on them at all. I'm like, all right, Austin, how far can I get this motherfucker in 1 hour? Like, how far down this trail can I go? And that's like the last ride that I did that was like the goal. I was like, all right, go. How far can I go in 1 hour? Like, that's what, it was just a small goal, or like the goal of the day, but something about that had me excited to be like, damn, I wonder what I'm going to see. I wonder how much shit I'm going to go past, or weird shit I'm going to, how much it's going to hurt, or like, will I make it back type shit. That was kind of a question too.
Yeah. The interesting thing with endurance too, and I feel like I'm just learning so much each week and month, is I feel like with endurance too, it's one of those things to where you can't possibly be focused on each stride, each pedal, the entire thing. And so there are these like long moments or moments throughout where your body and mind are almost disconnected, to where your body keeps moving in this pattern, whether it's a step or whatever it is. And then your mind's also either thinking about running, or it's thinking about whatever, it's listening to music or podcasts. And it's almost like you have these, you almost feel the separation, I feel like. At least I do. And I just get like a different sense of, I don't know if it's like a spiritual sense, but I just get a different like release and feeling from the two different forms of exercise. Lifting, I feel like I'm always locked in. I'm feeling each rep. I'm focused on each contraction, the weight, whatever I'm doing. Versus running, it's almost like I have to like let myself go.
Yeah, that is a great point, because I remember when I used to run cross country, there would be so many times, especially like early in the season or like early in your 5K, that, you're going through these trails, uphill, downhill, and it's like, okay, like I can't get, any further than that tree down there. And then you get down there and it's like, all right, I'm going to try to get to like that opening or clearing. Or it's almost like you think about, okay, well, I'm only a mile in and it's pretty bad. Like, I don't think it can get any better, sort of thing. And then you get 2.5 miles in and you're like, all right, I feel pretty good again. Like, I can breathe again. Like, the pain has kind of gone away a little bit. And so it is funny to sometimes, like, it was always a little bit harder when we had those races because you don't have any music or anything like that. So you really have to disconnect to not have to just think about each breath, like being out of breath, like pain in your legs, other things like that. So it is funny, like you said, between that and lifting, like you really have to be present every rep and like be fully focused on what you're doing. You can't really just, think about other stuff, really.
When it comes to lifting though, I don't really anymore have a goal of like, being a bodybuilder, like a competitive bodybuilder. I guess we all are bodybuilders in a sense. We're creating something better or bigger with ourselves or shaping our bodies. But more so, I think what drives me deep down is knowing that almost that same limit as the bike a little bit, how far I can push myself with a rep or like weight. How deep can I go? Like, I always relate it to like a leg day or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, if I'm on like the squat or the lunges or now the hack squat, even though I haven't touched it since it's been here, I remember using other hack squats. It's like, all right, let me see how far I can fucking push it and how much hurt can I go through type deal, which isn't smart if you're trying to be a athlete of some sort, but it's something that drives me though, personally, that I know. And, one other thing is knowing that, like, one thing that drives me a ton when I was working out in the mornings, though, is just knowing that I think that I'm better in any way, but I'm just like, I'm going hard. I'm waking up early before the sun. I'm beating the sun.
You're doing something you don't have to.
Yes. That's I guess,
you're
best
like,
words for it.
Yeah, you're like forcing yourself to do something uncomfortable.
But that doesn't answer, like, but that's also what drove me. Like, once that drove, like, knowing that I didn't have to do it, but I showed up, and I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, I beat that goal. Now it's, all right, now I'm in here. Let me see how hard I can push it while I'm in here. That's, at least my deep down, like, thoughts when I think about it.
Yeah, I just feel like you get this sense of, like, euphoria when you live in that gray area to where it's not so heavy and hard that you're dying every set or every rep or you injure yourself, but it's also to a point of just extreme discomfort, and you almost like hold it in that area. You know, I feel like there's magic that happens in that spot.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like, you know, whether it's that chip on your shoulder or
Yeah.
whatever that you might be dealing with or going to be dealing with later on in the day, it's just like a way to like take some of the energy out or just fucking stick it to it, even though you're beating your own self up.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck you. I don't know. It's hard
And
to
there's
explain.
nothing like just like losing yourself in the workout. Like yesterday, I felt pretty locked in. This morning, I felt pretty locked in. And yeah, you do just kind of, I don't know, you get everything out. Everything out. And that's something else I wrote down in my notes was, you know, for me, and I'm sure for you guys in some way, and everybody I think to an extent, either more or less, like exercise is such a good form of like self-therapy. And it's like you can just get out so many emotions, maybe not even directly as far as like, you know, oh, so-and-so said this, or I'm dealing with this with my girlfriend or whatever, but more just, you know, just exercising and physical exertion just kind of like, I don't know, releases something out of you. And I feel like where running has helped me a lot is it's more time in my day that it's taken up. So you'd think I'd be more stressed out because I feel like I've taken on more work and I've also taken on more exercise. And so I have less time to do it, blah, blah, blah. But it's almost like the exercise has calmed me and allowed me to be more present in the moment when I am here, when I am working. And then, you know, just training more has just given me almost more peace of mind, more relaxation, more therapy in a way.
I was listening to Joe Rogan yesterday or something like that, and he was talking about how he was working out. And some of his sessions lately, he's been really stressed with whatever he's been doing. Or it might just be in general, he's always stressed, which I'm sure he is when you got a lot going on like that. But he says working out like almost it exhausts him to a certain extent to where he is able to like slow down. Like it exhausts him in a good way to where he is able to slow down mentally.
I think that's it.
And have his body just wiped to where he can actually like, all right, I'm slowed down, I'm focused because I'm just fucking wiped. That I, you know, wiped in a good way, not wiped like I'm like a zombie. But I get it. It definitely helps me most days, but it's been a while.
Any topics? Or we
I got a few questions. Yeah,
okay. We'll go on to the questions.
So for y'all that might be listening, how you can ask a question is by following us on Instagram and asking us a question. Usually on Sundays, we'll drop a questions box in the stories.
Or if you think of one during the middle of the week, message us, comment.
We'll try and dive into it. Where are my fucking questions? Here we go. So, if y'all didn't work in the fitness industry, what other profession would you choose? So if we weren't doing this gig, living the dream out here, what would we be doing?
I mean, can I say what I currently do with video editing? Does that count?
I guess
it's
so.
Not in the fitness
it's not.
Industry,
it's not.
It's what I already do.
But what profession would you choose? Would you choose that?
I'd choose something freelancer, you know, entrepreneur, because I can't work for anybody else.
Yeah. What would you do?
I don't know if I'll work in the fitness industry forever, so this might be something eventually that will happen.
Talk about it.
When I was like 12 or 13, I actually had emailed National Geographic to see what I needed to do to be able to be a photographer, videographer for them. And I always used to get that magazine subscription, and I love just seeing like different animal features, like old historic kind of cultures or other things like that. Places like Machu Picchu or the American West or like other things, New Zealand, that people would travel to and explore these like forgotten things or find this extinct or what they thought was extinct species. And so I always loved that, or like Planet Earth. And they actually emailed me back with some lengthy stuff, which back then it was a little bit different than it is today because there wasn't really like social media in that same way. But I think about that a lot. Like in the past couple years before we ever had the gym or anything like that, I had reached out to like the Virginia Department of Tourism or other things like that, asking if I could do like their marketing or social media. And I think that just a lot of things, I originally went to school to be like a park ranger and stuff like that. So to me, I feel like, honestly, anything that is like the outdoors or like, you know, some sort of like travel and showcasing kind of thing, whether it be with the camera, with something else, like I just really enjoy that because it's always fun to just have things that are meaningful to me or like I see as special and like be able to show other people and make them feel the same feeling. It's just a really cool thing to me. So that's probably what I would be doing.
Yeah.
What about you, dog?
I thought because I read this question earlier this morning, I thought about it. I was like, man, I better have something. Definitely working for myself, my own business of some sorts, but definitely a skill. So it'd probably be something with my hands as far as like manual labor, not jerking people off, not a jerking off service.
GYMFLO.
Austin's glory.
Austin's massage parlor.
No windows on this building.
GYMFLO.
Yeah. Oh. You said it.
Everybody's least satisfied.
That's the test booth.
Satisfied customers. But no, definitely, it would have to be something manual labor. And I don't know if my body could hold or handle that, but I grew up before the wreck doing a lot like with my uncle irrigation, working a summer with that, landscaping with another cousin of mine with his business. And I really enjoyed the satisfaction of a hard fucking day. Yeah. And like when you go home or you're on the truck riding back home, you're like, fuck, we crushed it. Or like we did a lot today. Or damn if I didn't dig a deep ass hole today. You know, just knowing like you really did some hard shit. Almost like working out.
So nice to see like the day's work.
Yeah.
And then also I used to love when I worked construction, like having my clean work shirt and being like, this thing is going to be sweaty and like filthy by
packing
the end of the day.
My igloo cooler and shit. Yeah. I had all my sandwiches and shit ready to go. Fucking, there's many days I thought I was going to die too. And I was like, fuck, if I don't get water, I'm going to die.
There's nothing better though than that.
Oh, the ice cold water. Yeah. So I don't know what it would be. My dad and obviously Jake does HVAC. I don't know if I can do that shit because when it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, it's cold. At least I feel like I need to be outside. But I don't know what it would be. But something
Jake's
manual labor.
Actually an amateur golf player.
Oh yeah, you know what?
He's semi-pro.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, he's he's about to get picked up.
Catch him on
He does the HVAC on the side.
Yeah. Next question is, what was an unexpected challenge you faced when starting GYMFLO? Probably there's a lot of everything.
Losing money.
Yeah, everything. One expected, having lots of holes. But I think, speaking of that, is making sure you're spending money in the right place. And that's hard to know right off the bat because you don't know what works. You don't know, like, oh, should I be doing these events and these expos, paying hundreds of dollars to go to that? Should I be buying a bunch of T-shirts right off the bat and merch and other shit besides my actual product? If your business is a supplement company, you better be buying supplements. Yeah. You aren't a merch company. You aren't this, that, you need to like really sit back and realize, hey, money needs to be spent on what the business is. And I think looking back at GYMFLO, we spent a ton of fucking money on shit that was not like directly helping us. Mainly shit that like shouldn't be thought about till like years into it. So make sure you're just focused on what your main goal is. And then also starting small. We started with a lot of different SKUs, like 6 different products way back then, and we probably only should have did a lot of like 2, like thousands and thousands of units of like pre-workout and pump. We did 2 different amino products with 4 different flavors in one, 2 different in that.
Built to Burn and what?
Built to Burn had 5 different flavors. So Built to Burn times 5, Overcome times 2.
Overcome was there too.
There was 2 of that?
Yeah, we had orange lemonade and candy tart.
I'm thinking watermelon.
Oh, we had that too, so 3 technically.
Oh, fuck.
3 flavors of pre-workout, 2 flavors of pump. I mean, way too much. Spread too thin. So don't spread yourself too thin. Go hard and heavy on one thing.
Peanut butter on both sides, guys.
Yeah, thick. That's that's probably the perfect thing I'd stop with right there. Make sure you're going all in on one thing. Start small, go hard, live hard.
And keep it creamy, not crunchy.
Keep it creamy. Yeah, and fuck. I mean, crunchy's good on the spoon, but I ain't putting it in a sandwich though.
No Skippy either.
Yeah, Skippy's that cheap shit. What do you buy? Jif?
Actually, the
Schmuckers?
natural.
I've been getting the organic BJ's brand.
It's a little different.
No, you don't stir that shit.
But
Jif's got the all natural.
I know
Jif,
they have Jif has the natural pre-stirred, but that feels weird to me. I like it when it's all oily.
Y'all ever have the honey one? Honey roasted?
You talking about the Justin's?
Jif?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Honey.
Jif is good.
Honey one.
I think Peter Pan has a honey roasted
Yeah, I
too.
like
That's really good.
I like it. I don't think I could fuck with it all day.
I'd see it on the spoon.
I mean, I can do
Get
a little bit,
lighter
little dab.
underneath it.
Oh shit, little dab.
All right, while you're dicking around, we'll get into some questions. This is bad people. They kind of ask like some questions, and we're supposed to answer based off us three, like who is most likely to do blank. Who do I feel I could learn the least from? I would say me. As far as me personally, just because I feel like you have a lot more things as far as like an adult male would know, as far as like car shit or like things like, I don't know. You've been an adult longer, been on your own longer.
Yeah.
I feel like I could learn plenty from you, but I also feel like I could learn plenty from Griffin on like home goods, cooking, photography, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I always pick his brain.
I feel like what I do know, it's worth something, but it's also like worthless shit sometimes. It depends on what you think. I've been in sticky situations, so I can teach you something. Most likely to follow.
No one else answered that question. But I guess am I supposed to answer that one?
I thought you answer your own card, right?
I guess you know what? I guess that's right. Sometimes we all
Well,
do,
I
but-
guess we have dabbled with it, right?
Yeah,
True.
we don't worry about it.
It doesn't have to
We'll
be
roll-
everyone.
We'll roll that way this time.
Sorry. Most likely to follow through on a revenge plot. Griffin.
I never forget.
Like Big
I
Tommy.
only
Like Big
forget.
Tommy says.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Brock's up there. But I don't know if you'd follow through with it. I feel like you'd just be like, all right, you know what? Let me just go
Use
for a
it
run.
as fuel.
My thing
me go
is,
for a
I
run.
feel like there's plenty of people I want to stick it to, but I'd rather indirectly stick it to.
Well,
them.
yeah,
like
when?
if I waste my time like going out of my way, I feel like I end up playing myself. But if I just succeed in a way that they're like, damn, I shouldn't have done this, or I should have, been nicer to him, or that. That's my fuck you.
Let's say you were married to somebody else, not like a Maddie or a Sarah, but like
Of course not.
someone who's like a, cheaper to keeper, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But she divorces you, she takes the kids, she takes your money, like you're paying alimony and child support. Do you not want to have some form of revenge? I feel like I'd have to think of some elaborate scheme.
I'd have to be deep, like fucked over, to just have that like I have nothing to lose kind of mentality.
So we know what happens to Griffin's ex-wife 20 years from now.
Yeah.
What happened to Griffin's ex-wife? She went missing? Oh.
Have
You'll
you
see
checked?
me,
Have you
yeah.
checked Kelly Farms?
The All or Nothing show back in 2021.
Yeah.
Listen to that
The
episode.
FBI
He let it
is
go.
going to be like triangulating. Let's
Damn.
see.
I get it, though, because, like, you work so hard. Well, never mind. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah, next show. Most likely to Facebook creep a new love interest for several hours. Do I answer?
I feel like it
Yes.
depends who's on Facebook the most.
Oh, I guess I was so assuming any social media
I
when I
mean, you
read
could
that.
play it
but
that way, but
Oh, do I answer?
yeah, you
Oh.
answer.
Honestly, I would say me. Like,
wild card move.
yeah, well, I mean, I don't mean to be like that, but like, I even checked the Venmo.
Oh fuck, I don't go that deep. Like,
Hold on.
why did they pay Suzanne?
Oh, I get it. I was going to
Yeah.
say, why would you check Venmo? But to see who they're fucking with.
Yeah, that's true. Who are you getting breakfast
What's
with
eggplant
on-
mean?
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Fun time? What?
Yeah,
So
Great
Weird.
night?
yeah.
Plan B? What?
You were asleep for 5 hours
Yeah.
in the middle of the day.
Plan B.
Yeah.
Shit.
What about y'all?
I was probably going to say, I could...
I could see any of us doing it.
Yeah, probably. But, yeah. I don't know. I could swing with you. Now that you mentioned the Venmo thing, that's fucking...
Yeah.
That's
I've never
fucking
thought
out
to
there.
go deep.
Twitter's got an advanced search too. You can search terms from certain dates.
Y'all remember when Instagram used to have, like, who liked whose picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was real creep mode.
I know.
Because you'd be like, hey, Griffin, for example, Griffin just liked so-and-so's pictures, 3 pictures in a row. Because it'd show you, like,
yeah,
all
in
3
a row,
pictures.
yeah.
It's like, this
Yeah.
motherfucker
Yeah.
right here.
Or Snapchat used to tell you you're your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
Snapchat was bad.
your
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck. Yeah. Anyway, most likely to create a scam business. Joke's on you. That's what GYMFLO is. Yeah. Check. There's
recruit
Ace K in
5 people. Yeah. And they recruit 5 people.
That's what we need to do. We need to create a GYMFLO pyramid scheme.
Yeah, the MLM.
Yeah.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Most likely to not get the joke. I don't know. It's hard for me. I'm probably gonna go. No, not Griffin.
Fuck.
Brock. I'm probably gonna go Brock.
Damn.
But that's not all the
Depends
time.
if it's a boomer joke.
It is. That is because I feel like I've said shit before, and you're like,
Yeah, like some of the older
and I'm like,
movies,
yeah.
I don't know.
But Griffin, I'll do jokes like from movie quotes all the time, and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that one.
Yeah, as long as it's in Land Before Time, I've seen it. I'm trying to think of some other ones. What are those old movies with the animals? Homeward Bound.
Homeward
That was one I
Bound,
used to see.
Home Alone, shit like that.
Other than that,
No,
that's about it.
damn.
Most likely to crack a beer during a eulogy. I think we all know. Stone Cold over
yeah.
here.
Yule time.
Cold call.
What's that shit?
Yeah.
Yule time. Whatever. I forget the saying. Yule time. Yule tide.
Yeah.
Tide. Yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this one, y'all.
Shout out to John Wilson.
Yeah. Thank you,
For,
John.
shouting out the podcast, and good luck in your supplement venture. Excited to see what you can do. Glad
Yeah,
our
man.
podcast was able to kind of inspire someone to not just listen, but take action.
Yeah.
That's what y'all should do out here.
And that's what you do every day, not just on All or Nothing Day.
Yeah,
that's true. And by the way, shout out to Hallie,
Something like
not
that.
Hallie.
No fucking way. It's Hallie.
Jake's girlfriend.
Is her name Hallie?
Hallie.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's Hallie. Look, hold on, let me pull it up.
You sure it's
I
pronounced
fucked up
that
and said
way?
it that way, Hallie. Come on, bitch.
I hope it's
There
not
we go.
pronounced that way. That's like saying my name's Broke. Oh, that's definitely Hallie, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you a ton because she sent me the screenshot that it's All or Nothing Day. And she knew that it was All or Nothing Show Day because she asked a question.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
she's a serious listen.
Well,
she's
nothing against your name.
No.
No, I thought he was messing it up.
Yeah. Sorry. But thank you all for real for watching this and continue to watch this and keep up with all of our shenanigans. Hopefully y'all enjoy more into the future. Make sure y'all follow us in the description below. Ask you some good questions for next week. We're out of here. See y'all.